Hey, what's up, you guys? Yeah, I need to get back into the swing of things of YouTube. I've been very distant recently, but I'm getting better at it now. I'm starting to film more videos, more sketches and stuff. I've just been really busy with school, and I do apologize for that. But today we're just going to do a little quick rundown of a few things I want to talk about. First off, we have a new heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Oleksandr Usyk. I can't say I'm not surprised. I mean, I've said countless times to several people that I believe Oleksandr Usyk can, in fact, beat Anthony Joshua. And it was just a matter of how game is Anthony Joshua in this fight. And he was game. But the game plan that he had was not what was needed to beat Anthony, or was not what was not the right game plan, if that makes sense, to beat Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk just stayed moving constantly, no matter how tired he got, no matter how tired he got, no matter how many times he got clipped, he just kept moving, bobbing, weaving, going out, shooting the left hand. He had Joshua hurt a couple times in this fight. So that just goes to show how good Oleksandr Usyk is. Because in my opinion, Anthony Joshua is not a bad fighter. Anthony Joshua is one of the best heavyweights in the world. He was the champion for a reason. He did beat one of the best right now or one of the all-time greats, actually. Not even the best right now, well, because he's retired mostly. But in Vladimir Klitschko. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. Knocked him out in 11 rounds. Came back from adversity. That's if that's not enough to show you how good Oleksandr Usyk is in beating a guy like Anthony Joshua, you know? But people are still going to sit out here and say, you know, Anthony Joshua, he was never good in the first place. He got beat up by fat Andy Ruiz and stuff like that. Andy Ruiz took that fight on short notice. Joshua could not adjust. And Joshua also had to learn from that fight. He was always a very careless fighter. Whenever he had you hurt, he would just go in. And that's what he did, and that was the mistake he paid for that first fight in Andy Ruiz. But what did he do? He adjusted, he came back, and he won. Well, Andy Ruiz was out of shape. That doesn't matter. That's Andy Ruiz's fault. He still won the fight. He did what he needed to do. And he took care of business. And Anthony Joshua is so good at adjusting. And I think round 4, you could see that adjustment. And I thought it was going to be a very close fight after that. It was an adjustment by Anthony Joshua that won him the next 2 rounds, I believe. You know, but unfortunately, he did not win the fight. I scored the fight 116-112 for Oleksandr Usyk. I gave him 8 rounds. And he was doing so good. And what I'm trying to say here is I'm going all over the place, but I try and do everything in one take. So that's why I'm doing this. I don't like to do cuts and all that fancy stuff. I do this all in one take. And if I don't like the one take, then I'm not going to upload a video. To be honest, I don't like that mentality. I'm trying to break it, but it's whatever. It is whatever, because the fact of the matter is, I just don't like editing for hours and hours. That's really the only reason. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Oleksandr Usyk is not getting the recognition he deserves. He deserves to be treated as one of the best that he is. Ranking-wise, I believe he's number 2, in my opinion, in the heavyweight rankings. Tyson Fury's number 1, simply because he's too big. Like, if they were even sizes, Usyk would beat him easily. I think Usyk would beat him easily. But because of the fact that he's much bigger, I believe Tyson Fury would win using his size. So I would say Joshua's number 3. Okay, Usyk number 2, Fury number 1. Number 4 would be harder to say. maybe Dillian White, maybe even depending on how we'll get to Deontay Wilder. But depending on how he does will depend on how I rank him. Right now I have him at number 5. Number 4, I have Dillian White. Dillian White showed how good he is coming back and beating again Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin knocked him out in a shocker, a fight that Dillian White was winning handily, just so easily. You got clipped by an uppercut and you got dropped. So yeah, Alexander Usyk would beat Dillian White. Now, what's next for each fighters? Alexander Usyk, he wants to take care of his family and stuff. His next fight is going to be against Anthony Joshua. It's going to be against Anthony Joshua simply because he is the number 1 contender now. If not that, then he's going to fight Tyson Fury. But first, Tyson Fury has to fight Wilder. And this Saturday, that's going to happen. And it's going to be a war. It is going to be a war. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua, there's a couple guys that he could do good. Like, I could see him fight Joe Joyce. A lot of guys, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, he could even rematch Dillian White. Even have him fight Wilder. We could have Wilder Fury, or Wilder Joshua, like we've wanted for a few years. And then he lost to Ruiz, and then Wilder lost to Fury, and so then it was Fury, Joshua, and then Joshua lost to Usyk. Now it's Usyk, Fury. So it's kind of interesting. We could do, Fury Wilder would be interesting. Adam Kotnowski, he's fighting on the undercard. That would be interesting. And then we have, of course, the third fight with Andy Ruiz, which could also be a big thing for Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua has a lot of options. But for right now, I think his goal is to get that rematch as soon as possible with Alexander Usyk. I think Usyk beats him if he is game, if he is training. Because, he said he trained since January for this fight. So he's just always game, always training. Right now, he's just spending time with his family, and he deserves it. Well-earned time off for Alexander Usyk, who is one of the best right now. So, now moving on to the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury, or Anthony Joshua. Moving on to the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. This fight is going to be amazing, dude. Okay, so this fight is going to be absolutely amazing. Like, I can't see how it's not going to be. The fact of the matter is, Wilder looks like he's made some adjustments that's going to help him with the style that Fury's going to go with, which is going to be, he literally said it in the press conference, it's going to just be the same thing. He's going to try and steamroll Wilder. Now, if I was Wilder, I would not let Tyson Fury, I would not let Tyson Fury steamroll me. I would go right at him. I would try and push the pace towards Fury, so Fury won't try and push the pace towards me. I wouldn't stand back with a jab. Now, if he does that, Fury wins. If Deontay Wilder wants to beat Tyson Fury, he's going to have to go right at him. No doubt in my mind. Going to have to go right at him, take every amount of punishment that he can. He's going to have to get that dog out. He's just going to have to do that. He can't try and stay back, because if he tries to stay back, it's going to be a rough night for Deontay. Deontay Wilder has to go right at Tyson Fury for 12 rounds in order to win this fight. That's what I feel. Of course, I never stepped in the ring with nobody, but that's the way I feel. If I was Deontay Wilder, that would be the game plan I had. And it looks like he worked with his head movement, which is good. So, you never know. So it's going to be interesting. My pick would probably be Tyson Fury. If I had to be honest, I feel like Tyson Fury wins by like a decision. Very, very, very Easy decision. That's the way I feel about it. I don't think he finishes him this time. I feel like Wilder has learned to adjust and at least go the distance in this fight. But you never know. You never know. Like I've said this entire time, you never know. Wilder could win this fight. All he needs is one of these. One big right hand. That's all he needs. Fight's over. Fight's over. Anybody who gets hit with a Deontay Wilder right hand goes straight into the shadow realm. Fight's over. That is just fact. Deontay Wilder can win any of those fights with the two hand, but he can't have that mentality. He can't have that mentality. I got the right hand. That's all I need. He can't do that. And another thing he can't do is if he loses, he can't come up with all these crazy excuses. Oh, his shorts were, or no, not his shorts. What was it? There was another one with his shorts, I believe. But there was there was no padding in his gloves, or oh, my armor was too tight. That's the one. My armor was too heavy, and it weakened my legs, or I was drugged by my corner man, or oh, he put a gypsy curse on me. All these crazy excuses. Deontay, if you win, all right, you're not gonna hear Fury say all these things, okay? You're gonna just hear him talk his talk, sing to his wife, maybe, you know? Don't come up with these excuses. I'm pretty sure you ran out of excuses about 10 or 15, all right? Yeah. You ran out of a lot, okay? After I heard the gypsy curse, I was like, oh, gosh, this guy's really running out of ideas. Okay? You lost, okay? You got bullied. That's all I'm going to say. Deontay Wilder is a great fighter. He's my favorite heavyweight in the division. If I had to rank my favorites, it would be Wilder, Usyk, Fury, Joshua. That'd be my rank. You don't know. It'd probably be Wilder, Usyk, what's his name, White, and then like Joe Joyce or F.A. Ajagba or something like that. I like watching up and coming fighters or guys like that probably won't ever win a world title, but they're fun to watch. Like Izu Ugono is a good guy. Stuff like that. Izu Ugono, Dominic Brazil, Adam Kovnowski, Otto Valin, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. What's the name of the dude who fought Dillian White? I'm thinking of Michael Hunter. You know, guys like that. I just love watching these heavyweights come up. And I do feel like we are in a new generation of heavyweights. You know, the 1990s has probably the greatest lineup of heavyweights in boxing history. You have, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. You have the Evander Holyfields, the Mike Tysons, the Lennox Lewises, the Lennox Lewises, the Buster Douglas, the Riddick Bows. They're all going on, And, you have Wilder, who's the new age Tyson. Then you have that can't be good. And you have Wilder's the Tyson. Fury's the Lennox Lewis, and then you got the Usyk, who's the Holyfield, and you got Andy Ruiz, who's the Buster Douglas, and you got guys like that, and you got Dillian White, who's like Riddick Bowe. It's just the way that it is, and it's gonna be crazy to watch all these guys clash, because eventually they're gonna clash. Because if Adam Kovnowski wins this fight, if Adam Kovnowski wins the fight against Otto Wallin in the undercard of this fight, I want to see him fight Dillian White for that interim WBC belt. And it'll be a very interesting fight. Even Otto Wallin, Dillian White would be a great fight. Dillian White is a great fighter. I like watching Dillian White. But anyway, yeah, I got off track. But yeah, these heavyweights, this generation of heavyweights is just absolutely phenomenal to watch. And I just want to see where this goes. I really do. It's going to be very interesting. As for other sports, NFL's going around right now. My Rams, they lost against the Cardinals this week, which is fine. I'll deal with it. But that's the way it is. Tomorrow, I'm going to see Venom. I'll probably give a review of that movie. Let There Be Carnage. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Woody Harrelson looks amazing as Cletus Cassidy. I saw a trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. Bro, that looks amazing. I can't wait. Literally can't wait. Yeah. That's probably the most anticipated movie I'm looking forward to this entire year. And I can't wait for the boxing video game coming out. Esports Boxing Club. Just recently, they announced Deontay Wilder and a few others. Costa Tszyu. That's another one. This is going to be an amazing boxing game, and I cannot wait for it to come out. I don't know when it's coming out. They said later this year. It's in October. It's October. Okay. Just give us a beta. Like, I just want a beta of Esports Boxing Club. I want to play it. I'm tired of Fight Night Champion. Okay, it's one of the greatest games ever. I love playing that game, but it only gets tired. And then Creed. There's a new Creed game. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Rings of Tomorrow or something like that. You can play as Rocky, Creed, or Drago, I believe, or Gabriel Rosado's character. Ooh, Gabriel Rosado, he's fighting Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia, that's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to boxing in this later this month. Later these months. Jaime Munguia, Gabriel Rosado, Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. Man, that's gonna be a good fight. What's the one? Canelo and Caleb Plant. Man, this is going to be a great ending months for boxing. I mean, September through November is going to be some amazing boxing matches. I mean, we literally just had one in Joshua Usyk. And then we're going to end it all with Crawford and Porter. Winner of that fight has to fight Errol Spence. That's the way it's going to be. I'm just going to end this by talking about Manny Pacquiao. Ending this video talking about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest fighters of all time. And he just recently announced his retirement of the sport of boxing. Growing up, I'm half Filipino. So, growing up, my family loved Manny Pacquiao. We've seen every one of his fights. From Oscar De La Hoya, to Miguel Cotto, to Joshua Clottey, to David Diaz. All these guys. My favorite fight of his watching growing up was probably his fight with Oscar De La Hoya. That was because, growing up, they were the guys that we always talked about was Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao. And then they were going to fight. Whoa, Of course, it wasn't that much of a fight. Ricky Hatton, fights like that were just absolutely amazing to watch. And he always put up some amazing wars. I mean, one of his most recent fights against Keith Thurman. I had my mouth open the entire fight. I did not think he was going to win that fight. You can ask anybody I know. I said Keith Thurman will win this fight. Pacquiao is too old. He won a unanimous decision against Keith Thurman. And he was going to go into the ring against Errol Spence. Unfortunately, due to an injury to Errol Spence's eye, he was not able to compete. Which is a shame that we will never see that fight come out. But at the end of the day, We never got to see a lot of other fights. You know, we never got to see Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe. We never got to see, you know, Felix Trinidad versus Shane Mosley. We never got to see those fights. You know, so Pacquiao Spence is just going to be one of those fights that we never got to see. And it's unfortunate. We never got to see Pacquiao versus Amir Khan. You know, that is the dream fight for me. The two fastest hands in boxing history, in my opinion. Go at it. You don't even see the punches. You know, oh man, that would have been an amazing fight. An absolute amazing fight. I would have loved to see that fight. But that's, you know, he's 40, what is he? 44, 45? Or is he 46? I want to say he's 45, 46. Could be wrong. He's in his mid-40s. And he retired, and he's running for president of the Philippines. Hats off to him. And, yeah, thank you for all the memories and all the legendary moments that you had in the ring. One of the all-time greats, Manny Pacquiao. Thank you for your career, and thank you for all the years of entertainment and making my childhood awesome. Thank you, Manny. Yeah, so I'm getting back into the swing of videos. I promise I'm going to try and make one once a week. I'm just going to say that now, once a week. So that way I can get them all out and done. And so I'll actually have to do it. I'll have to do it. I'll have to say once a week. Y'all hear me here. Once a week, I'll try and do it. So next week, I'll try and do something. No promises, but I'll try and do something. Okay, guys. Thank you all so much. Love y'all. Bye.